It was a dark night, mostly because this is a black and white film. I had just cracked the notorious cheese heist, and now Biggie Cheese was safely locked in the big house. I thought it would have been my last case, but I couldn't have been more wrong.
Can I come in, detective?
She was the most beautiful dame I'd ever laid eyes on. Hair like silk and eyes like fire. She was hotter than the tip of my cigarette.
Can I come in?
Oh, sorry, I was monologuing.
Mono what now?
Geez, I really gotta stop this monologuing thing. I think I have an addiction. How can I help you, ma'am?
You're Detective Privatt Iye, right? I'm here to report a murder.
A murder? Why don't you report this to the Flatfoots at the station?
It's an unusual case. It'd be better if you saw for yourself.
How much you willing to cough up?
$500.
5 C-notes was a hefty bounty for a simple murder case. But then again, this murder didn't sound like an ordinary one. But I needed the money, so I decided to give it a shot. When I saw the crime scene, I knew it would be an interesting case. Not only because the victim was my previous rival detective, Vicky Victim, but because the murder weapon was a fish. Looks like this is gonna be a fishy case.
How could you say that? That's my brother. It wasn't
Shut
even
up.
a good...
I'm not sure, but... Okay, yeah. There's only one person in Chicago who sells the fish that are this disgusting.
But who?
Big Louie.
Mamma mia! What is it, senor?
Do you know why I called you in here?
You said you wanted to buy some of my fish!
Your fish are terrible.
Hey, what can I say? Bada bing, bada boom!
Listen, Louie, there's been a murder, and one of your fish was the murder weapon.
Mamma mia! Who was the victim?
His name was Vicky. Ring any bells?
Oh yeah, he was one of my only 3 customers!
Louie was proven to be a good squealer, but I needed more info before I could crack this case. Who are your other 2 customers?
Well, one of them was quite suspecto, and the other one was you, senor!
That's impossible. I've never set foot in your disgusting joint.
Well, last night you did! You bought 2 of my bottles of my finest liquor!
No, that's...
Believe in what you want, the detective, but you were in my store last night, a super drunk!
I could hardly believe it, but then again, I didn't remember much when I got blackout drunk. Maybe I had celebrated my successful case a little too much. Tell me more about this Clyde you were talking about.
Sorry, but I cannot do that. I'd rather croak like an Italian toadstool before I tell you the location of my customers.
Really? Let's see about that. Where's Clyde live, Louie? Louie had cracked like a Taco Bell Chalupa Supreme, and now I was close to finding the killer. The thing was, if Clyde really was the killer, who knew what kind of operation he could be running? The only backup I had was my revolver, but like most private detectives, that's all the backup I needed. I wasn't surprised the thugs weren't upstairs. Usually, city sardines like them stuck to basements. I had found the fishing spot, but now it was time to catch the fish.
Say, Clyde, what are you going to do with all this fish tracking money?
You see, I figured I'd use it for this here operation. Soon, I'll have control of the world's entire underground fish trade.
Sounds good, boss.
Grab some air! I said!
As the army shot Chicago lightning, I cocked my revolver. It was time to fry these fish. Okay, now come on out. I had caught the big fish, and now all I had to do was reel him back to the police station. The thing is, sometimes there's more than one big fish in a pond.
Nice job, Mr. Rye. You've caught one of Chicago's most wanted criminals. Just in time, too, or he might have escaped our grasp.
Wait, he was in jail yesterday?
Yes, he was, but he escaped this morning. You were lucky enough to find him.
Actually, no, I'm not lucky. The only reason I was going after him is because he murdered somebody. If he was in jail yesterday, then he can't be the murderer.
It must have been a red herring.
Could I borrow your cigar for a bit? I got a monologue to the audience.
Yes, I do it all the time.
It seemed my rod was straight out of fish hooks. If Clyde wasn't the murderer, then who was? The blonde had no motive, and Louis wouldn't kill one of his only 2 customers. But then, it all fell into place. I know who did it, Chief.
What do you mean?
Last night, I had celebrated my successful case a little bit too hard. I had just cracked the notorious cheese heist. Drunk and in need of cheap liquor, I went to the cheapest place in town, Big Louie's.
You were in my store last night. I so much wrong.
When I bought the alcohol, I must have picked up one of Louie's fish as well. One of your fish was the murder weapon because it was too drunk to know how disgusting it was. Confused, disoriented, and angry from the liquor, I must have stumbled around looking for a fight. Then I saw him, the perfect person to drunkenly beat up. My rival detective, because the victim was my previous rival detective, Vicky Viked him. It was the perfect way to take out my alcohol-induced anger. By the time I finally stopped, Vicky was already dead. I was too drunk to know that I committed the murder. So like any good detective, I solved the case. A case where I turned out to be the murderer.
Don't worry, Detective. Plot twists like this happen all the time.
What do you mean?
I've done this to many plot twisting detectives before this.
Done what?
Let's see here. I knew from the beginning that the detective was a murderer, but with cases like this, it was fun to watch them fool around. After all, my job was super boring. That was one fishy case.
I know who did it, Chief. Oh yeah, you want us too. You just say what, how, and then I know who did it, Chief. Coleman, it's a little bit too hard. Drunk, and that you're supposed to flip it.
Oh, I remember. I thought it took getting super drunk, so I was in.
Successful case, a little too much. Drunk, and yeah, you have to flip it a little bit faster. Sorry about that. I was too drunk to even remember that I committed the murder. So like any good detective, I solved the case. Case where I turned out to be the murderer. Dang it, I was almost good. I was too drunk to remember that I had committed the crime in the first place. So like any good murderer. Okay, 3.
You wanna be in the bag or
What a pretty lady. Wow. Where are you from, girl?
We're not gonna actually hit you with fish.
Oh,
Sure.
playing hard to get. I see. Come here, girl. Look at that.
I proved that.
Oh wait, I gotta get this out of the way.
It's not even a shot.
I'm gonna go down anyways. Ethan just looks at me, he's like, okay, and then... Really? Let's see about that. Where's Clyde live, Louis?
You piece of shit.
Another fellow needs your help.
Somebody's talking.
Say, Clyde, when you use all this fish tracking money. Say, Clyde, what do you do with all this fish tracking money?
Action!
Say, Clyde, what do you do with all this fish tracking money?
Action!
Say, Clyde, what do you do with all this fish tracking money?
Let's do a retake. Look what Gavin did.
Mamma mia! What is this, senor?
Hold on.
Hey, what can I say? Bada bing, bada boom! Mamma mia! Who's the victim? But you went for a store last night. A super drunk!